Wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Let's get in some front page news. All right. This is the tough time for sports because there's no NBA. There's no football. And baseball is not in playoffs yet. So this is a tough time.
The WNBA is playing.
Yeah, but I wait for the playoffs for WNBA as well.
Oh, WNBA is great. And it's also, it's tough. It is tough in sports, but light-skinned people are having a way tougher time this morning.
Good morning, Morgan.
Good morning.
I just
good
ignored
morning.
him. I just ignored him. Go ahead, Morgan. How you feeling this morning?
I'm good. I mean, you know, black, highly favored.
There you go.
There you go.
Not sure all what's going on over there. But anyways, let's get into the headlines. New York's top court is rejecting a bid to hear Donald Trump's appeal of the gag order in his hush money case. The New York Court of Appeals on Tuesday declined to hear the bid on the grounds that no substantial constitutional question is directly involved. That means the gag order imposed upon Trump not to talk or post about jurors, witnesses, and others involved in his Manhattan Supreme Court case will remain in effect. Now, the Trump campaign spokesman, Steve Shung, responded by saying the order wrongfully silences the former president and at the height of his campaign, and they'll continue to fight against the order. Trump was found guilty, of course, last month of 34 counts of falsifying business records. You guys thought that he should be able to speak. So how do you feel about that now that it's going to remain in effect?
I still think he should be able to speak, but I didn't know you could reject somebody's appeal of anything in the courtroom.
Yeah, well, yeah. It says clearly here that basically it's. I'm imagining that it's to protect those involved in the case because it's not like he didn't incite an insurrection.
But everybody else is speaking, But I figured, if the judge could speak, if jurors could speak, I don't understand why he shouldn't be able to speak.
He probably has that Beyonce type power where he says something and people move in the masses.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Whereas certain people will say something and it might not have as much movement. So you got to be careful with that. January 6th.
Yeah,
Never mind.
Yeah, if it's able to protect if it's to protect the jurors, I totally understand. I protect the judge, I totally understand.
Yeah. So meanwhile, former President Trump, he rallied in the swing state of Wisconsin on Tuesday and pushed back against reports that he said Milwaukee is a horrible city. Let's hear those comments from former President Trump.
I love Milwaukee. I was the one that picked Milwaukee, I have to tell you. I was the one that picked it. They lie. They have a horrible candidate. They have a candidate that has no clue, doesn't know where he is, and all they can do is lie. I love it. I'm the one that picked Milwaukee officially. Joe Biden is humiliating our country on the world stage. He's actually humiliating us. He wandered off the G7 in Europe, the stage. He looked like he didn't know where the hell he was, but he didn't know where he was. He's blaming it now on AI. He doesn't know what AI is, but that's okay.
Didn't he say? I thought he said Milwaukee was a horrible city.
He did. Yes, he did.
Oh.
He told the crowd in Racine that was a complete lie and it was made up by the Democrats ahead of the Republican convention next month. And because, the Republican convention is being held in Milwaukee next month. Now, Racine is about 30 miles south of Milwaukee. And in Wisconsin, in 2020, Biden won Wisconsin by a narrow margin. Trump won Wisconsin in 2016. Moving on, in Louisiana, the first state to officially require the 10 Commandments to be displayed in all public classrooms. This new law calls for a poster-sized display of the 10 Commandments to be put up in all classrooms from kindergarten through public universities by the beginning of next year. A so-called context statement that describes the 10 Commandments as a prominent part of American public education for almost 3 centuries will also be part of the display. Now, critics have questioned whether or not the law is constitutional, with some saying lawsuits are likely. Texas, Oklahoma, and Utah have also proposed similar laws like this. What do you guys think about that? I thought there was supposed to be a separation of church and state.
Even though I believe it should be a matter of choice, can you really be mad at the 10 Commandments being in a classroom?
No, you can't.
It's the 10 Commandments.
Yeah, you can't.
I'm not upset about it. I just think that there's definitely going to, it's going to cause a rift, among those who may not follow Christianity. And I also anticipate this type of legislation will challenge the Constitution's First Amendment and I believe the Bill of Rights, which states that Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion. Basically, again, separation of church and state. But we'll have more.
And the crazy thing about the Ten Commandments is like it's I guess you could say it's religious, but I mean, honor your father and your mother.
Kind of elementary.
You shall not murder.
You should not kill.
Adultery. You should not steal.
Oh no, it's definitely a good set of rules to live by.
It is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But it's where it came from. Somebody might have an issue with it. So
I get it.
All right. Well, thank you, Morgan. We'll see you next hour.
all right, guys.
Everybody else, get it off your chest. 800-585-1051. Let us know how you feeling, what you did yesterday, your mood. Call us up right now. Get it off your chest. 800-585-1051. Call us up right now. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Wake that ass up. Early in the morning. The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are The Breakfast Club. Let's get in some front page news. What up, Morgan?
Hey, guys. Hold on. Sorry, my thing is frozen. God.
Can't you see I'm
There it goes. Okay, sorry. I'm ready.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are The Breakfast Club. Let's get in some front page news. Good morning, Morgan.
Good morning, y'all. So, yes, let's get into it. President Biden is announcing a new plan to provide a pathway to citizenship for about 500,000 undocumented spouses married to U.S. citizens. The program applies to immigrants who have been living in the country for at least a decade. Let's hear more from President Biden.
Keeping couples together who are married, where one spouse is a U.S. citizen, the other is undocumented. They've been living in the United States for at least 10 years. Ask elected officials. They know it's good for American business. They know it's good for the American economy. They know it's good for America, period.
Yeah, so Biden says he wants those immigrants to put their skills to work in America, and the administration did admit that a majority of those who would benefit would be Mexicans. The Trump campaign calls the move mass amnesty and a power grab for votes. Immigrant officials expect legal challenges to this action. What do you guys think?
I thought it was always like that. I thought that if you married an American citizen, then you become a citizen.
Nope, that's not true. You got to still go through the process. You still got to go through the paperwork. You still got to take the test and all that other stuff. Yep. So, no, that's not true at all.
I knew that, but I thought getting married to an American citizen helped all that process go faster.
No, not at all.
Oh, okay.
And I'll tell you a quick example. You know, if you follow the Housewives of New Jersey, you know, Teresa Giudice and her husband, they were married for, I think, like 15, 17 years. They met each other in high school, but when he was convicted of a crime, he got sent back to Italy, and he's been in the States longer than he was been in Italy. I think he was only in Italy for 1 year, 2 years, but
that's crazy.
He was sent out of here because he wasn't a quote-unquote citizen.
Because that was
it's
always
true. It doesn't matter how long.
Yes,
that's
remember when
true.
people from the Caribbean would get married, like, oh, that Jamaican just married her to get a green card.
Okay, so moving on, in sad news, Major League Baseball is mourning the loss of Hall of Famer Willie Mays. He died at 93 yesterday, and MLB held a moment of silence before every game. The league will also pay tribute to Mays during a special ceremony before the MLB at Rick Field, a game between the San Francisco Giants and the St. Louis Cardinals in Alabama. Now, Rick Field is the oldest professional ballpark in the U.S., and it's where Mays began his career in the Negro Leagues with the Chattanooga Choo-Choos in 1947. Negro League Baseball Museum president Bob Kendrick says Mays revolutionized the game of baseball. Let's hear more from Bob Kendrick.
There was an aura about him. The neat little thing he did, it just seems to excite the masses. I guess in Hollywood, they call it, and you don't always know what it is, but Willie had it. Willie probably never got the kind of credit that he deserved for being a student of the game. He was a very cerebral ball player. The basket catch, he thought it was easier for him to transfer the ball up into a throwing motion than it was to catch the ball above his head. There was nothing on the baseball field that Willie Mays couldn't do. He was the consummate five-tool player. Hit for power, hit for average, could field, could run, could throw. You were looking at someone special.
Yeah, known as the Say Hey Kid, Mays played 20-plus games, most of them with the San Francisco Giants, and made 24 All-Star teams, won 2 National League MVP awards, and 12 Gold Gloves. He's regarded as one of the greatest baseball players of all time and was elected to the Baseball Hall of Fame in 1979.
Yeah, Morgan,
rest in peace, Willie Mays.
Definitely. Morgan meant 22 seasons. You said he played 22 games. You meant 22 seasons.
Yes, sorry, 22 plus years.
There you go.
I'm sorry about that. Thanks for the correction. And y'all talk about staying up late. Well, there's bad news for the night owls. A new study from Stanford University shows that going to bed late is bad for your mental health. Researchers found that going to bed by 1 a.m. can reduce the risk of developing depression, anxiety, regardless of your chronotype. And your preferred sleep time, whether it's rising with the sun or going to bed late, they don't now, and researchers don't know why this is, but they found that people who get up early and make the most out of daylight hours, which would be us, right, have the best mental health. Researchers say regardless of when you go to bed, 7 to 9 hours of sleep is optimum. Do you guys get that?
No, but that's what I was thinking too, right? When I read that study yesterday, I'm like, okay, if you go to bed at 1 a.m., but let's just say you wake up at 8 o'clock in the morning, you still getting your 8 to 9, you still getting your 7 to 8 hours of sleep. So why would that affect your mental health? And that's still pretty early in the morning, 8 or 9 o'clock.
Absolutely. Yeah. I'm not sure. I'm somebody who goes to bed late and wakes up early. I catch naps and I try to get my 7 to 9. I'm not sure if it applies, in the interim, if it's broken up, but yeah, I'm not sure.
I'm not
all at once.
I've never, this runs on my dad's side of the family. We never can stay asleep for longer than like 4 hours at a time. So I get it, but it's broke up. And I really don't get it now because I have a human growing inside of me. Right. But I never get 7 to 9 straight hours of sleep. And my mental health is fine, Morgan. So I don't know what you and Stanford talking about.
No, not me. I just reported. I don't make it. That's your front page news of Morgan Wood. Follow me on social media at Morgan Media. And for more news coverage, you can follow the Black Information Network at Black Information Network and BINnews.com. Thank y'all.
Thank you, Morgan.
Wake that ass up early in the morning. The Breakfast Club.